Our next presenter, Alan Soule, is right there. Hi, Alan. He probably knows more about electric cars than anybody else in this joint. He's been studying them, driving them, and spreading the word about them for many years. He's going to do that here tonight. Alan.
So I've had the opportunity of driving an electric vehicle now for a couple of years and have a little over 38,000 miles on it. So I'd like to let you know what my impressions are and maybe answer a few questions for you. First of all, as you can see, they're not a science fair experiment anymore. They're a regular looking car. Here's the Nissan Leaf. It is a four-door, 5-passenger, 100-mile range, very typical looking car, both on the outside and then on the inside. You can drive it just like a regular car. It has an accelerator pedal, it has a steering wheel, stereo. The only difference is it has a range gauge instead of a gas gauge. Otherwise, you turn the key and start moving. So another type of electric car is coming up here in just a second, the Chevy Volt. It's a little bit different. It has an electric motor and batteries that take it for about 30 miles on pure electric. And then it has an onboard gas-powered generator that'll take it about 400 miles total. So a little bit more convenient as far as charging goes. So one of the big advantages of an electric vehicle is you can charge it at home. So every day you start out with a full charge, and depending on the range of your car, you can go different mileage. The Leaf, 100 miles. This one is 240 miles, so pretty good range. Another big advantage is the cost. To go 210 miles to charge at night, which you can do at the low rates, is $3.47 versus a gasoline vehicle at today's gas prices at 30 miles a gallon is $23.10. Big savings. Another big savings is the maintenance costs. As you can see here, there are no filters, hoses, or anything. There are only about 10 moving parts in an electric vehicle, so there's a big savings on maintenance costs. In fact, I take mine in every 12,000 miles, and they change two things. And one is the windshield wiper blade and the battery in the little key. So huge savings. And in 38,000 miles, I've had no problems with any breakdown. So it's really a convenient way to go. The next thing people have a misconception about is the electric cars don't have any power. In fact, just the opposite is true. The electric motors have full torque from 0 RPM, so there's no popping the clutch, revving it out and popping the clutch. And as you can see here, the Leaf keeps up with everything in its class. So then, environmentally, about the only better way to transport yourself is by foot power there, as you see on the left, but that's not too practical. So really, the electric vehicles are the best way to go. As you'll see here on the next slide, the internal combustion engine, which is on the top graph there, puts out about 6 times as much CO2 as an electric vehicle charged on our West Coast grid. And the reason I say West Coast grid is because we have some pretty clean, relatively clean at least, generating plants. We have a lot of wind, solar, and hydroelectric, and then even the generating plants are natural gas as opposed to coal, and natural gas is a whole lot cleaner. So then what are you going to do with the battery when it's theoretically worn out? Well, the definition of a worn out battery in an electric vehicle is it holds 80% or less of the charge that it did when it was new. So you can take it, put it in the corner of your garage, connect it to the grid, charge at low rates at night, and sell back to PG&E during the day. And then finally, when it's worn out and has to be disposed of, it's 70% reusable or recyclable. So 30% of it, current technology, does go into the landfill, but that's actually years down the road that I figure I'll have that battery in my car for at least 10 years. Now, what happens when you want to take a long trip outside of the range? Here's a map of the public charging stations in California, and that's actually not quite up to date. And there's a program now to put in 5,000 public charging stations throughout California. Here's one that I use down in Costa Mesa. As you can see, they give you front row center parking, free parking too. This is a paid parking lot. And the charging itself is free. I haven't ever paid for a public charge. That's probably going to change. In fact, the next slide will show what the new program is. They'll put charging stations along the curbs, just like parking meters, and you can pull into town, connect up, get a charge while you're at a restaurant, shopping, or going to the theater, something like that. Another type of charger is, this is called a quick charger. It'll charge an electric vehicle to 80% of its full capacity in 20 to 30 minutes, which is real convenient for a long trip. This, by the way, is a Mitsubishi electric vehicle, which will be out later this year. This is the Ford Focus, which again is coming out later this year. Similar to the Nissan Leaf, it has a 100-mile range, 4-door, 5-passenger, really a nice practical car, affordable, but like the Leaf. So I want to encourage you to, next time you're looking for a car, go down and kick the tires and check out an electric vehicle. This is a new Tesla sedan that's going to be made in Fremont. Half the price of the sports car, and up to 300-mile range. So really up there with the gas-powered cars. So thanks.